We're recording. Hello, Rebel Nation, and everyone else who's watching on YouTube after this airs. I am Andy McCabe. I am your Restoration Rebel leader. This is the weekly Rebel Roundtable for March. Sorry, my watch is not working. 11th? 12th? 12th. Someone tell me what's the date today. My watch is just not working. 13th today. That figures. And I'm going to start the meeting like we start every single meeting by reading the Rebel commitments. If you want to be a part of the Rebel Alliance, the Rebel Nation, the family that is restoration contractors who want to take our industry back, you need to first commit yourself to these 4 commitments, and then we'll let you in, and it's going to be awesome. Just join. Just get in here and do it, because there is so much information, so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so much love to be had. It's ridiculous. All right, Restoration Rebels. The Restoration Rebels push the agenda of the Restoration 2.0 movement. We exist to take back the restoration industry that we love. Commitment number 1. I will protect my value. I'm sorry, these were rewritten over the last couple of weeks. I will protect my value. I will never provide free services, as this would only serve to erode the value of similar services industry-wide. Commitment number 2, I will practice incredible transparency. I will explain our processes in detail to my client. I will never hide details or manipulate reports. I will never communicate with a third party without also communicating with my client. Commitment number 3, I do not believe in competition. The restoration professionals in my market are part of my community. I will be an active member of that community. It is our unbreakable unity that will create the change that we strive for. Commitment number 4, I am willing to walk away from any project, client, or contract that is not compatible with my values and stated mission. No relationship is worth taking part in if it requires losing money or sleep or my humanity. Why is not humanity? That's the best part. Why is humanity missing from this document? Money, sleep, and my humanity. These are what, this is why we're here. That's why we're here. Good. All right. I am increasingly excited. I don't know why I'm so excited about today. It is a special day. It was an affirming day to be a rebel. We had a naysayer, as it were, on the LinkedIn feed, who used our own words against us. He was saying, if you don't believe in competition, you will not survive. That was his mindset. If we do not believe in competition, we will not survive. And we had no less than 5 rebels just dogpile this guy publicly on LinkedIn, and just like, boom, 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 just laying on the knowledge bombs, as we say them. It just very respectful, actually, but just like, no, you're wrong because of this. You're wrong because of this. You're wrong because of this. Here's the bottom line. Why is my phone ringing? Bottom line is our abundance mentality, our abundance mindset is a long-term success solution, where their scarcity mindset that will destroy them. If you believe in scarcity, if you believe that in order for me to succeed, I have to take something away from you, then it's a zero-sum game. And that's the game that some adjusters play. That's definitely the game that a lot of TPAs play. And that's the game that carriers really play. It's a zero-sum game. If I find a way to find coverage, or find a way to get an insured another $1,000 for the kitchen cabinets that they can't really afford to replace, well, that $1,000 comes out of their pocket. That's a zero-sum game. Well, I was talking to a guy earlier today, and I said, when I took my adjuster's exam, which I still have my adjuster's license, there was a paragraph in there that said, one of my primary jobs as an adjuster is to find coverage, not find ways to exclude coverage. All right? So at the end of the day, contractors, insureds, and carriers, we should be on the same page because we're all trying to find coverage and put our insured back in pre-loss condition. But not everyone sees it that way. Not everyone sees it that way. Was anyone in this room part of that LinkedIn, Facebook conversation today? Because I'll let you chime into that. Clark, definitely Blaine was. Blaine, why don't you give us your take on that conversation today? Where are you at? Oh, you're covered here. Hold on a second. Here we go. Go ahead. Go ahead, Shane. Or Blaine.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay. It's kind of funny to watch, some of these comments and some of these snide remarks. There's definitely some haters out there, and it's all right. The stuff they talk about really kind of shows, I don't know if it's ignorance. Some of it, I think it is. Maybe partial brainwashing. This is what we've always been told. Maybe there's an agenda there, who really knows, but who cares? The thing about this whole thing is that it's all being pushed wide out there in the open. And
it makes people nervous, doesn't it?
Well, and it should, and it's good that it does. There's a lot of talk about this group, haters, lovers, who, in between undecided folks. Eventually everybody's going to benefit from the work that we're doing here, and it's only going to make it better for everybody in the long run, and hold the carriers ultimately responsible to do the right thing.
Exactly. Do the right thing. I couldn't agree more. And what I love is, I don't think it was 10 minutes old before another rebel just jumped on. Just jumped on. It's like, whoa. Actually, there was a pre-existing rebel who was no longer with us in the group, but he's with us in spirit, who just laid it on. It was epic. Once again, if you're not in LinkedIn, following my page, or following me, I guess I don't have a page, right? We just have profiles on LinkedIn. Follow me. Get in there. Follow me. I'm going to turn this gallery view off, or there. I don't like looking at my big face.
Hey, Andy.
Clark, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I was on that. I jumped into that. I don't know if I jumped into round 1 or round 2 of that crap show, but
maybe three,
what it really told me, based on his interpretation of our 4, because he had gone in and got our rules, right?
Oh, he went to our rules and then tried to like, oh well, this means you just want more. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
So it's option 1 is he's absolutely just being a jerk and just doesn't make any sense, or is that really? And I ask, is that really the interpretation that he made, or not? And I made a joke. He's from where I'm from, and I was pretty embarrassed, but. I thought it was very ironic that he used the word, accused us of price fixing.
Yes.
I'm like, well, that's.
He did. He said, oh, that sounds like price fixing.
That's the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it? But, he's like, your 20% isn't enough, and blah, blah, blah. And so I guess he only charges the same rate year after year, no matter what he does. Is that how that works for an independent? I don't know.
Well, and that's how it works, really, because IAs generally, unless you own your own big firm, you take your rates from the carrier. That's what I found fascinating. Was he's in a position that I am. I'm an independent adjuster. I do daily claims. I handle some claims for some carriers in my local market. I don't name my rates for those carriers. Okay, 1. Cincinnati Insurance, which is, by the way, for public dissemination, top notch. If you sell Cincinnati Insurance, good for you. Do that more, because their claims process is easy. They don't second guess their adjusters. They believe in making their clients whole because they believe in a repeat client next year. Shocker. Anyway, so yeah, IAs, we don't operate, we don't name our own schedule. We take a pricing sheet from usually a third party, and I've got one right over here over my shoulder. I won't show you, but yeah, there's one right here. I've got pricing sheets from different carriers. I don't get to name my price. I'm taking what they're giving me. And guess what? And that's one of my responses to him was, wait till you experience the deflation in your rate that you're able to charge per claim. And I gave him my phone number. I did. I put in my phone number right there on LinkedIn and said, call me. I'll take your call. Call me when you experience what we're experiencing on our side.
Well, I gave him 2 thumbs up for his hilarious posters and pictures and use of props in his post. I said, you might be a rebel yet, because his sarcasm. His sarcasm and snarkiness was pretty good for an independent from East Texas. So,
oh, that's enough said. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's get back on. Let's get back on subject. Who's here for the first time? I want to hear from Jason because he said he wasn't here for the first time, but I want to hear from Jason again. Mr. Heidenreich. You're going to have to unmute yourself so you can correct my poor spelling of your name. There you go.
Is that it?
Oh. Yeah, man. All right, where are you from? You've been chiming in the group lately. I don't remember you introducing yourself to the group, so I'm going to give you another chance.
I've been around for a while. I'm from Phoenix. I've had a similar background in you, from restoration company to restoration company and whatnot. I've got a home base now that's pretty I don't know how to describe it, pretty tolerant of me participating in this on my own without, necessarily tagging his company in the process, but he sees the value in me taking part in this and sees the value in me having the camaraderie and the background and the group of people to pull from. So that's really good. So
good. Well, thanks, Jason. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for being here. And that begs I want to play off of what you just said is that it's not lost on me that this movement is not palatable to everyone. And if you are not an owner in this and you're part of this movement, it may be a very uncomfortable place. I want to support those people more than anything else. And we should want to support those types of people. If you're working for someone who's not sympathetic, maybe they just don't get it. They're like, oh, I make plenty of money, but you're making 10 cents on a dollar, right? I make plenty of money because I'm the owner. Well, they don't really understand the metrics. We want to support you. If you want to land somebody else somewhere else, if you got restoration experience and you're a rebel and your boss doesn't recognize that, let's find someplace else for you to live. Let's find another home for you. I'm not ignorant to that. I want to be very empathetic to that situation because I'll be the first to admit I'm not in that situation. I'm in a very unique situation. I don't work for anyone else. I can say what I want without repercussion. And I don't want my words to hurt you in any way. So yeah, that everyone out there, read between the lines and listen to what I just said. Let's look for our own people inside the rebel movement, and let's find those people and bring them up and support them in any way we can. So, all right. Anyone else? First time tonight. I don't recognize the name Steve Williams because maybe I'm just bad with names. Who is here? Speak up. Unmute yourself. Speak up if you're here for the first time tonight. I don't give you much time. I'm just jump ahead. All right. Who wants me to jump right into automated social media marketing, or do you want to? Bob and Christine are on board.
Hey, Andy, I'm not going to be able to be on the whole call. Can I just talk about one thing? It takes about 3 minutes. I just had dinner. Yeah, man. Yeah, baby.
You had dinner? No, you don't eat. Come on, bro.
I did. I had dinner with one of our sponsors.
Oh.
He was in town. His name is Brian Canfield, and he is representing April Air. And they are a April Air, pretty big company based out of actually I don't know if Dave and Jennifer are on the phone. He actually lives in the same town as Dave and Jennifer, the
Not,
Meyer Dosher twins.
not yet.
And Madison, Wisconsin. And April Air, this portion that they're coming, they have standalone, self-contained dehumidifiers for basements and crawl spaces. And they are going to try their best to show this group how to not wait for weather, not wait for insurance events to find other areas in the home that are incredibly strong, much like what Joe Ledbetter likes to talk about. Find some, be like a waiter. Waiters are the best salespeople in the world. They got menu options. So this is also something you can do in the home. So dehumidification is a problem in some of these unconditioned spaces. So I was at dinner with him, and he just announced, and he's going to get me the information that he's going to be giving away, I know at least one, maybe a few of these dehumidifiers, which are valued around $1,800. So he's going to be coming with some giveaways.
Wait, they're giving one away.
Yeah. What he's going to do, he's going to fly it in, but he doesn't want to take it back with him. So he's going to get a brand new one for the event, and it'll go to a winner there. So I want to say right now, and we're going to put this in the group, if you aren't buying tickets to this, you cannot win what DBK is giving away. You cannot win what K&J is giving away. You cannot win the potential of about 3 or 4 more others, including possibly.
You got to be there. You
got to be there. And, membership has its privileges, and we'll do some stuff for the group. But these are people coming to really, they're not being paid to come there. They're paying us actually to come and sponsoring the meals or the tables or the drinks or whatever. But some people are going to be winning some pretty good things there. But dehumidifier, crawl space, anybody that knows Robert Kiefer, I know Mike, we do it here, Michael's son. That's a big part of our business. It's not insurance related. It's actually something the customer pays you for. And if you're doing it right, you're making, $5,000 to $8,000 to $9,000 per job, and you're getting customers that you can get back out to their homes a couple times a year. So
yeah, if for the right client, it's a great value add, and it's non-insurance based, great margins in it. I'm a big fan of April Air, and I know Robert Kiefer is. I know Clark, you are. Anyone else here have experience with April Air and their dehumidifiers?
You guys are funny.
Mike, go ahead.
Yeah. Where I live, we use April Air, but we use it for the other side. Because it's so dry in our area, we use it for humidification inside the home, so that we don't lose our hardwood floors. So it's really interesting to me to listen to you guys talk about dehumidification with April Air.
Yes, you are. We are in the high desert. It is. There's no doubt. It is dry here. This is my 4th year in Central Oregon. Mike's been here for much, much longer than that. I couldn't get over the bloody nose. Okay, not to get too morbid, but bloody noses. My first year here, I couldn't figure out what was going on. It is super dry. And Jason's in Phoenix, obviously super dry there. I had a similar problem, except for I'm allergic to traffic, so that's why I couldn't do Phoenix, Arizona. Sorry.
We actually had to develop a sheet to give out to our clients that in the process of drying out your home, anybody who has bloody noses, regular bloody noses, it's very likely that frequency may increase during the process of this as part of the transparency, and this is what might happen and this and that. So,
wow. Okay. Wow.
And you don't know how many adjusters say, oh, you don't need dehumidifiers. You're in Phoenix. I'm like, okay, well, tell me that in August when we got 68% humidity in the monsoon season. So, all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it takes all kinds. All right, I saw a new name come across. Hold on, let me come over here. Steve Williams. I don't recognize that name. Steve Williams, you in the house? No? All right. Fine. All right.
Hey, Andy, I'm here.
There you are. Oh, you're not a first timer. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize the name. I recognize the face though. Hey, man, how you doing, brother?
How you doing?
Good, man. How's things in your neck of the woods?
Busy. I will say one thing now that I have the mic. I do really appreciate all the learning that I'm getting over the last couple months or so. I just kind of happenstance ran across you on YouTube. And then from there, I kind of migrated over to the Rebels. So thank you a lot.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. You are what it's all about. It's not the Andy McCabe show. I made a video this last week. It's not the Andy McCabe show. This is the Rebel. This is the more people we have here taking active part, man, the more unstoppable we are. We're a force, brother.
I will say that the knowledge is a powerful thing. That's helping me out a lot.
Amen. Amen. Thanks for being here, brother. All right. Well, I'm gonna get right to it. Here is the gist of what I came up with yesterday. It just struck me as when I was posting. Honestly, I was posting my son's videos of his half pipe competition from Sunday. I'm hearing somebody get into and out of a car. I'm going to mute that. There we go. And it occurred to me that this post I was making was going to go to 2 or 3 other places. And I'm a one-man operation. I needed to find tools to make myself, to clone myself, as it were, to leverage my time in a much more efficient fashion. So I found robots. And my main robot is IFTTT. Now, who all did their homework by show of hands and got an account on IFTTT, or no one saw the homework? It's all right. It's okay. This could be like freshman year again. No one has an IFTTT account. All right, I'm going to walk you through this. I love it. I love it. A lot of shaking heads and a lot of no. Well, no. So IFTTT. IFTTT.com. Write it down. Do yourself a favor. It stands for if this, then that. And if you have any programming experience whatsoever, you know that a lot of programming language falls into this particular if this happens, I'm sorry, I can't explain it in programming speak, but if this happens, make this happen. So what IFTTT.com is, it sets you up if I post on LinkedIn, take that post and put it on my Twitter account. That's all it is. If this happens, then this happens. So I'm going to do some screen sharing. I'm going to show you the automation that I have. And there are other paid-for services that you can use to get this done. Hootsuite is one of them. Hootsuite, excuse me. That was the Breakside Pilsners talking there. Hootsuite is a paid-for social media automation platform. And if you want to pay for it, if you want to take your stuff to the next level, you can, use Hootsuite or something else. I know that's not Clark Brown calling from Canada. I know that's not, but I like to see him. How many Clark Browns do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Clark is a popular man.
Did I give out the wrong link?
You may have.
Great.
Perhaps. But it is all good. I'm going to do a screen share, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk you guys through what it looks like when let me get my screen share. Screen share, desktop, share screen. All right, you guys can see that. Now I'm going to bring this up. IFTTT. Oh, no, I typed it wrong. IFTTT.com. Sign in with your Google account, all you who did not do your homework. So what happens, where is it? And I apologize, I was on the road right up until the meeting started, so I didn't get, come on now. Where is it? Shoot. Okay. This is really embarrassing. So what I have is I have IFTTT, and it's not I don't know why it's not pulling up my stuff. They're called recipes, and you can set up a recipe to do a whole bunch of different things. And one of the things I have is I have a recipe that pulls my LinkedIn posts and pulls them over to my Twitter feed. So if I'm going to go to let's just do this backwards. I'm going to go to my Twitter feed. Let's log in, of course. All right. Of course, I didn't test this live, and it's really embarrassing. There's a lot of people watching now. Gosh darn it. All right, Joe, you're going to have to rescue me while I get my windows up here. I don't know why this isn't working. Joe Ledbetter, are you around? Maybe. I just saw Joe. Joe, you there? All right.
I had to unmute myself. Sorry about that.
Unmute yourself. Hey, will you fill some time for me? I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on.
I'm going to stop my share. We're going to come back to this window. I'm going to close this window and pull up some other windows. We're talking about automation of your social media feed. And I thought I could just pull up my IFTTT account and just show everyone the magic, and it's not happening automatically. So I'm going to pull some other stuff up here. So Joe,
I've never used the IFTT.
What do you use?
I've never used it.
Automate your social media?
No, not really. I mean, the only thing that we've done to automate is the design aspect, right? Like developing the content. And we found that using Canva has been phenomenal, right?
Okay.
Like it's a phenomenal resource to pre-make the content piece. But from a distribution, no, we keep it pretty simple. I mean, so that's the cool thing about Canva though. So we can go into Canva and we can create a Facebook post, okay, specifically, and then just hit create, duplicate to Instagram. And it automatically makes the post the exact size that it needs to be for that specific media so it looks perfect. That's a cool time saver, and we use that for all of our digital stuff. But distribution,
have you seen?
No, man, we don't have anything.
The majority of the memes that I've put together for the Rebel group, they're all done in Canva. So if you, once again, write down canva.com, all y'all out there, canva.com, makes it really easy to make like expert looking graphics. I'm no graphic designer. You think you think I have enough skill set to make the memes that I've put out there? No, that's all Canva. That's all Canva all the time. But let me give you, okay, I'm almost there. I'm going to show you a little bit behind the scenes then. If I can't do the IFTTT, which for some reason, I just am confused why I can't do that. All right, I'm going to share screen again. I'm gonna share you a little deeper level stuff on here. Let me give you the concept first. If you have a social media feed, you have a login for Twitter, you have a login for Instagram, you have a login for Facebook, you have a login, all your social media, right? You can give your logins to this service. IFTTT is one. Zapier is another one I'm about to show you. You can tell them, you can set rules, and some of these recipes are in place. I'm embarrassed I can't find them. They should just come up. That you can say, if I post on Facebook, take that post and put it on Twitter and Instagram. If I post on LinkedIn, take that post and put it on Twitter and Facebook. You can use these services. I'm going to show you something that I go on a deeper level with. I have a CRM that plugs into my Gmail account. And when I move something from like a client from one stage, like intake stage, to like, okay, they're a client now, I hired them stage, there are a number of different things that happen. Let me peel that back for you and let me show you. Share screen, desktop.
This is Robert. I think there's something out there that's called Pinterest, and I ain't gonna be able to mute with that up there. But there's something out there I think is Pinterest that when you put out an ad or whatever, that it'll send out a tweet. And I think you can also set it up to do Facebook, shoot that straight to Facebook and these other things like you're talking about.
Yes, you can. And more of these social media services are going that route. I know on Instagram, for instance, Instagram was purchased by Facebook. So when I post to Instagram from my phone, it gives me the option to say, would you like to post this to Facebook? Would you like to post this to Facebook, Twitter? So yes, you're exactly right. These other services are saying, okay, I'll give you 2 or 3 more options, but let me show you this. Let's go into when I bring a client into my system, just for instance, let's go here. Can you all see this? Yes? Show of hands, thumbs up. Just give me, there we go. Okay. So when I move somebody from one stage in the process to another, all right, that's a bad example because only one thing's happening. Let's go here. There are 7, I don't know if you guys can see this. There are 7 things that happen automatically once I do this right here. So I have an integration called Streak that integrates into my Gmail. So when I change a stage in Streak, there's a Google Drive folder that's created. There's a Dropbox folder that's created. There's an Evernote note that's created. There's I use my invoicing software is called FreshBooks. There's a FreshBooks project created so I can start logging time to it. And then there's another link generated, and there's 2 other things. These things are all automated by somebody else, by a robot that is not me. And I really want to get into my IFTTT account so I can show you guys my social media side of it. I may just have to show you my Twitter account so I can show you. Let's go here. Who's not muted? I'm going to unshare my screen real quick. Yeah, I'm hearing myself. Maybe it's Clark. Clark, I'm muting you. Sorry, bro. That's it. Okay, share screen, coming back. I obviously did not practice this. This is totally embarrassing. Let me go to my tweets. I'm going to show you guys how many of these tweets did not come from Twitter. Okay, there's one. I posted a YouTube video of our own Jonathan Grubb on LinkedIn. Actually, no, this is an IFTTT. You can read this right here. I liked a YouTube video, and here's the link. Generations of Restores. That's the name of the video I liked. I have an IFTTT set up. So when I like a video on YouTube, I don't know if you see my hands. There's the quotes. When I like a video on YouTube, this automatically generates onto Twitter. So people can see what I'm liking. It's spreading my preferences, as it were, as a YouTube personality. I don't know what other words there are. Okay, this one right here. 1 minute I'm watching Gary Vee. The next I'm watching Jonathan Grubb grill me on my TV on YouTube. So I took this photo from my tablet. I posted that post on LinkedIn, and then IFTTT knew that I posted it on LinkedIn, grabbed the picture, and put it on Twitter for me. Can you understand how powerful this is when you're just in a one-man operation? I don't have the budget. I'm sorry, Jonathan, but I don't have the budget to hire somebody else to handle my social media. It's just me. I don't have the time to go out and make all these extra posts or make sure the link is copied and pasted to these other services. That's why I have IFTTT, and that's why I have Zapier. I just can't show you the back end of it. This is This is, okay, so YouTube, IFTTT grabbed that like and that like right there. And here's one post. I don't know why it didn't post correctly, but at least it said, hey, I posted something to LinkedIn. I posted something to LinkedIn. Actually, I'm not seeing, I'm going down and going down. None of these, actually, none of these I posted directly to Twitter myself. So here's one you guys that are on LinkedIn, follow me on LinkedIn, you might recognize. The struggle is real. I do have a fanboy. His name is Dan Lewis. Dan, if you're watching, I love you very much. He likes to jump into my LinkedIn feed and tell me what I'm doing wrong, which I like to take pictures of and then show the world what he's doing wrong, which might be a little bit meta or just might be childish. I'm not sure which, but I enjoy doing it. That is, so that's the overview. Once again, there's Clark and I. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's Clark and I. I posted a picture of Clark and I last Friday. Say, hey, happy weekend. And this went to my Twitter feed. You can also program this to go to your Instagram feed. So what does this mean? What does this mean to you as a restorer, as a one-man operation, if you are? It means you can leverage yourself in a very profound way with a free product. IFTTT is free. You don't pay for it. Now you get what you pay for. Sometimes the things don't work very well. If you want higher quality stuff, you pay for Hootsuite, you pay for Zapier, both of which I'm not pimping right here. I don't have an affiliate feed. So, but just go find them, ZAPIER.com, Zapier, or Hootsuite, HOOTSUITE.com. Both of those will enable you to automate your processes and enable you to leverage your time. One last thing before I open up the mic for questions. If you are putting your 16-year-old grandson or son involved in charge of your social media, you're doing yourself and your business a disservice. Because if social media or digital media advertising is anything, it's very conscientious of authenticity. And what your business needs and what your business advertising needs is you being authentic to your audience. Your 16-year-old cousin or nephew or grandson cannot be authentic to your business unless they work for your business, and then they can be authentic to their story about your business. What your business needs in this realm of digital media is you telling your story about your business. I don't know how many of y'all caught my, excuse me, my Facebook Live snippet. Was it yesterday or the day before? I had somebody call me out of the blue. Out of the blue. They actually texted me first and said, hey, this is so-and-so from somewhere. What's your phone number? And I said, all right, what do you want? And then it said, it is. And I said, okay, fine. Here's my phone number. He called me. He said, you know what, Andy? I trust you. I don't know you, but I trust you. And here's what I'm proposing. And he was setting up a meeting in which I will take, which probably be a cool thing to announce later once I finally get it taken care of. But why did he trust me? Why did he trust me? Because he saw me. He saw me. Whether it was my face or my videos or just my posts, it was me being me everywhere. It's authenticity. If millennials know anything, they can sniff out authenticity. They can smell a fake a mile away. So don't be fake. Don't do these things just to do these things. Do these things for the right reasons. What are the right reasons? Educate your client. Advocate for your client. Empower your client. Realize I mentioned client 3 different times just now, right? None of this has to do with playing up for the insurance companies. None of this has to do with looking good, right? Once again, this is not the Andy McCabe show. People are not following my channels are following this group because I am such a good-looking guy. No, it's education. It's empowerment. It's giving you the tools you need to solve your problem. You give your client the tools to solve a problem, and you are golden. You are their go-to person from that point forward until which time you break that trust. People do it all the time. People sell snake oil, or they sell a partial solution, and someone gets into it, and then all of a sudden, oh, you want me? Oh, you got me for the $10. Now you want $10,000. You know, we're not talking about bait and switch stuff. We're talking about a genuine solution in a long-term relationship with education, education, education. Give, give, give. Jab, jab, jab. Right hook. Always give more than you're willing to take. All right. I've taken way too much time here. Let's open it up. Who has questions on what I covered or input to what I just blabbered about all over the place? Oh, come on now. Why be shy? Why wait now? I mean, it's like Tuesday. Let's go. Who has questions on IFTTT? Come on. I'm going to sit back. What is that?
Got 3 different sites.
Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead. What's that?
ITT, Hootshot. What's the other one? Third one.
IFTTT.com.
Yep.
Hootsuite, Hoot Suite, Suite, I believe. Hootsuite.com.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, Instagram. Oh, Zapier, Zapier.com.
Okay.
Zapier costs me $45 a month, but it saves me a full-time freaking employee. So that's what it is to me.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on. All right, budding marketing people out there, talk to me. Somebody's got to have a question, because I'm not stopping on this. I'm not gonna. Come on, just do it. There's another Clark Brown waiting in the wings here. Promote analyst. Who has a full-time marketing or digital media person right now? Nathan. Robert, you're second. Nathan, what do you got going? What are they doing?
Well, it's my wife. Lucky me. Well,
Yes.
Maybe not so much.
Full control.
Doesn't like being told what to do and stuff like that. But she recently started with us in the last couple of weeks, and she's taking over the social media stuff. So I'm glad that you brought this stuff up, because I'm gonna bring it to her attention. But she just, we're just getting our feet wet with all of it. I've never been big on social media. I don't know. I still grapple with it, because I feel like I should spend my time building personal relationships with people. But I'm starting to see. I mean, I've seen guys say like, "Hey, I got a $60,000 job off like something on Facebook the other day." So the question is, how much time do you put towards it for the chance that you may get something like that down the line, or do you have to put all that much time into it based on what you're saying and stuff? So I'm feeling it out. I'm following along.
All right. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Money is time. Money is time. So do you do radio? Do you do billboard advertising? Do you do PPC? I'm sorry, Jonathan, you're not here, so I'm going to step on you a little bit. You got to look at what is your return for all your marketing spending. Are you part of a TPA? Do you pay a fee to that TPA? Are you part of a franchise? Do you pay a fee to that franchise? What is your return on that investment? And I would say just take those things. Take the TPA, your franchise fees, and I hate to say PPC, whatever, fill in your third, because PPC is still a legitimate ROI. But take your top 3 things and then take 10% of that budget and put that towards time or energy or salary for someone to do true social media or digital marketing engagement, I guarantee you it's going to be night and day. You're going to get 100x return versus your 1x return on those conventional means. And it's about engagement, and it's about this. You know, how much money and time have I spent on this? Any guesses? How many of these Tuesday roundtables have we had? Does anyone know offhand? Jason, you raise your hand, so you get to answer the question. I put you on the spot. Oh, I'm going to unmute you. Here you go.
I don't know the real answer to that, but my question would be, should my SEO PPC guy, that marketing person, should that be a different individual, different firm than social media? Is social media have a big enough footprint that person you put in charge of your social media needs to be a dedicated social media person?
Do you have an electrician, a plumber, and a roofer?
Well, yes.
Yes, you do. 3 different trades. 3 different trades. I think a lot of the misnomers out there is, I have someone who understands computers. So they built my website and do my SEO and they do my PPC. And the reality is we've been more niched. There's more niches than that now.
Right. That's only part of the equation now. So
yeah. I would say if you have an SEO person, you feel like you're getting good value, continue with them. But don't ask your SEO person to do your PPC, and don't ask your PPC person to do your social media. Very, very different animals. And like I mentioned 10 minutes ago, your social media needs to be you. It needs to be your voice. Can you really hire someone to be your voice? I would argue not. Because the most effective stuff is not this billboard stuff. You see a lot of billboards out there. You see the green trucks and yellow truck guys saying, as if it never happened, and they show a house underwater. Well, how effective is that post going to be on Instagram and Twitter? How much engagement are you going to gauge? You're not making it personal. You put a face on it, that's personal. You put a face on it and you put context on it, like you target people that, now we're going beyond automation, but I have the ability to target everyone that's gone to my website. Everyone that's been on my website, I have the ability to target them with a Facebook or a YouTube ad based on either they actually visited or they match a demographic of someone who actually visited. And that's where the magic is. If someone's searching for a solution that you have and they've gone on your website, you can give them what's called a Facebook pixel. And it's a one-time action. You put a pixel on your website. Everyone that goes there gets that, they're like infected. It's like a virus, but they're infected by that pixel. Then you go to Facebook advertising or Google advertising, and you say, hey, the last 30 days, whoever, 1,000 people or 100 people, take that 100 people that went to my website, because I think, and they visited the page called mold damage. Oh, I have a page on my website called mold damage. Okay. And there's 100 people that went there last month. Who are they? Well, I don't know who they are specifically, but I can tell Google and Facebook to make a field of 100,000 people in my market that look exactly like that one person or that 100 people. And then the only people that see that advertising are those people. How powerful is that, right? That's not shotgun, right? That's not sending a flyer to every person in a specific zip code. That's sending a flyer to everyone in that specific zip code who looks like someone who already went to your website. Whoa, right? How many minds am I blowing here? At least one. Someone just okay. Thank you, Bob. You're humoring me. I like it. Making a guy feel good. I appreciate that. That's the reality of of the we got to up our marketing game. You think the TPAs aren't doing this? You think Code Blue isn't doing this? You think 33-mile radius isn't doing this? We got to do this for ourselves, because when we give our money to those other people I just mentioned, who is that ultimately benefiting? You think our website or our brand is going to get the ultimate benefit from those dollars spent? No. Wouldn't you like to get the ultimate benefit from those dollars? Wouldn't you like your brand to get, and your website to get the domain authority and the backlinking and everything else? Yeah, I'm using slang words. I know. All right, let's. I'm gonna go to the chat if no one else has a question here. Excuse me.
I've got a question.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah. Do people? I'd like to hear what people do as far as, do they separate their business and their personal social media accounts? Because I do use social media for personal stuff a lot. So, I don't know if that would be a good idea, a good strategy to kind of separate that out.
You can have different. I've got a Facebook page that's different. I'll also got a Facebook page for my company. I've got an Instagram page that is different, but I've got a personal Instagram page. So yeah, keep it different. I would say yes. But I'm unique because I'm a consultant as well. So I have some bleed over. I have accounts that I use for only one purpose, and that's it. I don't have a personal need for a Pinterest account. I don't even know if I have a business need for a Pinterest account while we're at it. Let me back up, but let me make this point. Only do the social media you're comfortable with. There's no reason to be everywhere. There's no reason to have a profile on every single platform. Do what you're comfortable with. If that's 2 platforms, fine. If that's 1 platform, fine. So, okay, Jeremy, back to your point. I would say, and then Nathan, you can go. My LinkedIn is a true hybrid, because my LinkedIn is me personally, but it's also me professionally. That's where the 2 worlds have a tendency to meet. But otherwise, you can separate the 2 and automate the 2 independently. Go ahead, Nathan.
I was just going to add to what you were saying before about his question about whether or not to keep your personal profile from your business profile separate. And personally, I would say absolutely, because who you present as a business. For instance, I live in California. My political views don't jive with a lot of the people I live around out here. And you better believe that they will not do business with me because I like guns and, I voted for Trump. You don't like it, too bad. But, you better believe that you start posting.
Easy now, everybody. Settle down, kids.
I'm just giving you an example and stuff. I'm not shy about it, but I won't have these conversations with my clients, and you definitely don't want to be advertising all that kind of stuff to people, because business and politics, they don't mix with each other. It's got nothing to do with each other, and there's no reason to mix those 2 things up. You're out there to do a service for somebody. What your personal beliefs are is none of their business. Like, you could be a Mormon, they could be Protestant. Who cares?
Right. Unless you have decided as a business and a person that your client, your perfect client avatar, is a gunslinging Mormon, and then you can just go right to that. You don't have to separate the 2 at that point. I'm picking on Mormons because I like guns, so that's fair. Stop the hate mail right there. Stop it. Okay. There is a political problem. There are not problem. There's a political dance to be had. And like I said before, I'm a little bit of a hybrid because I'm a consultant more than anything else. But as a restoration contractor in a given market, you need to understand your market and your target market. More importantly, your key client avatar. If you don't know who they are, if you don't know who you are, you need to tread very carefully. And I would invite you to explore those 2 questions before you do any kind of advertising anywhere. Figure out who you are and who you want to get business from, and that will inform how you go after them, how you advertise to them or how you present yourself publicly. Another name you need to write down. I'm getting some other feedback here. Hold on a second. Now Clark's like messaging me outside of the chat on Facebook. Come on, buddy. I can only do so many things at the same time. All right, I'm hearing some feedback that I'll let it go. Gary Vaynerchuk. Okay, he is a wine guy turned entrepreneur extraordinaire. He runs one of the biggest digital agencies in the world, which is only like 2 years old or 3 years old. I don't know, maybe 4. Gary Vaynerchuk, write it down. Gary, Gary Vayner, VaynerChuck, or at Gary V, GaryVee, at most social media stuff. You look up Gary V on YouTube and you're going to see it. He is he's the bleeding edge of digital social marketing advertising. And his number one rule is be yourself. Be yourself. Because when you try to be something else for, let's say, oh man, I really want to go after nuns who have mold damage, but I really don't believe in the Bible. But I'm going to fake that I believe in the Bible. I'm going really far afield here. Stay with me, people. If you decide that you want to go after nuns who have mold damage, but you don't believe that Christ died for our sins, but you say on your Pinterest feed that you have a whole cross there, and you say you have mold damage because God sent me to. All right, I'm going to stop before I go too far here because it's not right. But if you choose to go, all right, Bob, settle down. If you choose to go after a market that you don't truly believe right here is part of you or part of the market you truly want to serve or believe in, it's going to come out. It's going to come to the surface eventually. You're going to be called out. If you, this is one thing I hate, people that say they're Christians, and this is my show, so I can say this. If you're not a Christian, but you use the Bible to get business, no, man. No, stop it, because we're going to find out, and then we're going to make sure you are squashed, because you don't mess with those things. You don't mess with who you are just to go get business. All right, don't put that cross on the back of your car unless you believe the cross needs to be on the back of your car. All right. I'm going to stop myself before I go a little bit too far. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, Andy, I have a question.
Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Joe Ledbetter spoke a couple weeks ago about a strategy regarding reaching out to Instagram influencers in local markets.
Yes.
And I've been trying to figure out how to do that last couple weeks, and I still can't figure out how to do it.
Okay.
I don't know if Joe could re-speak to that if he's still on.
Well, I can speak to that if he doesn't.
Okay.
I don't see him. But there he is. Let's see if he'll unmute. There he is.
Well,
I have a feeling he's not going to be yelling a lot this week. Last week, he got a lot of yelling in, I think. He was loud.
Yeah. I'm relaxed on my couch right now, just kind of listening, trying to learn. Yeah, I'll be quick about it. So here's what you do, right? You want to be able to get your message to the public through an influencer. It's really just that simple. It's nothing new, by the way. Like, this is how we've marketed to people from the beginning of time. So if you go back 10 years ago and you were a local company in a local market and you wanted to advertise to consumers, you might find that local radio host who was an influencer who had 300, 400,000 listeners every morning in the morning drive. And he was the influencer of yesterday.
It's based on followers.
Right.
Because you can see
I'm gonna get
how
there,
many followers a person has.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Right. So yesteryear we would use the influencers like the radio personalities, etc.
You'd fill them a
because of
coupon, or you'd bring them to your spa for a day, and you'd spot them. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Right. And then but today with technology and apps and social media, the power of a radio host, the influencer of yesterday, is no longer relevant today. In fact, you can have a much higher return on investment by reaching out to a smaller influencer, someone who has, 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers or even 10,000 followers, and they have engagement. So here's how this works. You live in a city, any town, USA. You guys have a windstorm. I'm just going to use that as the example, okay? And the wind comes through and it messes up any town, USA. You go on Instagram and you hashtag anytime, anytown USA. And you look for the top 5 or 10 posts that right now, that have the most traction or relevance. They're going to be listed at the top.
Not windstorm related, not damage related, not water damage related. We're just talking about the top posts or top people in that region that had that experience.
Exactly, right? So there's nothing about water, fire, nothing, right?
Yes.
So it's just about the geographic location.
Yes.
Okay? So now you're looking at the top 5 posts, and then you click on them, and you go into their profile, and you say, wow, this person's got like 4,000 followers. And every time they post, they get like 500 likes.
They've got engagement. They've got engagement.
Right.
Oh, I just took the word out of your mouth. They've got engagement. That's what you're going for.
They've got engagement. So here's the thing. That means every time this person...
engagement.
Yeah.
Comments are engagement. Thumbs down, actually engagement. But okay, go ahead.
So what happens now is this person, every time they make one post, they're getting 500 people to drink the fucking Kool-Aid. Excuse my language, but I mean, that's the reality of it, right? So I want to talk to that guy. I want him to put out my message in that neighborhood that I know the storm just came through.
Let's simplify it. I want him wearing my sneakers.
Right. So what I do is on the upper right-hand corner, there's 3 little dots, right? I'm telling you exactly how to do this. You click on it and you send them a message. Here's the best part. They're not going to be expecting the message you're about to send. These are people who have created a following. They've created an internet celebrityism type like persona, and they want nothing more than to figure out how to monetize it.
Yes, they do.
They don't know how to monetize their engagement.
Exactly.
Because they're new, they're fresh, they're like, this is really cool. I know there's people making money, but it's not me. Well, guess what? When I direct message them and say, hey, Phil, I see that you post a lot about freaking flowers. That's awesome. We had a really big storm come through, and I see that you have a big following, and here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to push my content out to your group. Can you do that? Are you interested in doing that? Can I pay you to do that? Well, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I made
let's talk about
last month.
And then here's
I made zero last month.
Exactly. So what I do is I tell them, say, listen, just, I've never done this before. Like I really haven't. Like, when you're learning this process, because you actually haven't done it. I've never done this before, so I don't even know what to pay you. Like, I don't even know how to figure this out, but I think it'll work, and I'll be more than glad to pay you if I can figure out how I track these jobs and whatever else. And they go, yes. So what do I do? Run Instagram. I send them an Instagram content. I say, push this out. Please push this out. But what we learn to do, I should say, is we use a pixel, and it's a digital tracker, and it tells us who's coming from which chain, so we know where they're coming from. And then we compensate them. No different than we compensate any other lead
source,
right? Because we're able
to say, hey, Mr. Flower Guy, we got 1,000 hits from you last week or last month.
We generated 10 leads, and we closed 7 jobs because of one influencer. Yeah. And the return of investment is ridiculous, because you're really not paying these people a lot because they've never done it before. It's a learning process. So you say, listen, I'll give you how's $50 a closed job? I don't know. Okay, right?
And it's $50 they didn't have yesterday.
Right, and I lost that $50 in my gas tank just having this conversation.
Just driving across town, trying to make a sale that you didn't make.
Right. So now I've got this influencer. But wait, there's 4 more still, right? So I'm reaching out to all of them. Are they all going to say yes? No, but that's fine. I'm going to get in contact with 2 or 3. And here's the best part. When you really start to get good at this, and you start to identify like some of these true influencers, they're up for the game. They're down for the hustle. They like, listen, they're calling you saying, I think it just fucking rained. Are you sure basements aren't flooding? Like, listen, relax. Like, nothing's happening where you live. Okay. But when it does, I'm going to let you know because you brought me 10 jobs last month. They're itching to be a part of your community. And now overnight, like literally you can accomplish this very quickly. You've got all these people on your social media, some way, shape, or form. Brand recognition becomes powerful. And what's really interesting is it all ties right back into the generation that is coming up buying homes right now. So everyone that's at 30 and younger age group right now, I won't use the M word, but you know what I'm saying? They're a Me Too generation. They're a push a button, get it done generation. And if they see an influencer, that to them is credibility. That an influencer's recommendation at this point in this generation is equal to that of a parental guidance telling you, hire John the plumber. Like, that's the value of these influencers. These aren't, people look at them completely different now. And we have the ability, again, back to organic business, direct connect to the consumer. So I got to use this influencer as a middleman for a quick moment. But once that relationship's done, that customer's mine, right? And I'm reaching out to those influencers. That's all I'm doing. I'm looking who's got content, who's been engaged with, and I'm not searching anything relevant to the industry because it's just geography. If you get 3 inches of rain in your local market, and you know these two cities always flood, figure out who those influencers are before it floods. Have this conversation before it floods. So when it does flood, you reach back out to them. Hey, DM, what's going on? 3 inches of rain, basements are flooding your whole neighborhood. We're here to help people. And this guy pumps it out. Next thing you know, you're getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 calls. You're not breaking the bank. You're building relationships, right? You're building spokes on your revenue tire that are pretty darn indestructible. When I say indestructible, because you can have so many. So even when one influencer like freaks out, right? Because at some point, I think they all do, whatever, but you don't lose, right? You've got a lot of other people in the thing. You have to, it's all about geographics. So,
yes.
But here's what I'm going to tell you.
Geographics and demographics.
I don't have the exact perfect answer. This is always a work in progress. And I can't take credit for coming up with this idea. Again, guys, we've been using influencers in marketing since the beginning of time. We're just now looking at the influencers of today. And this is where so many business owners that are stagnant in their business aren't paying attention to. And when you're not paying attention to where the marketing trends are going, I mean, I wish you the best of luck long term. So I hope that answers your question.
Right. So to reiterate, to find those people, you say just search geographically, right?
Hashtag city name.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it.
Sweet. That's cool, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Andy?
I think he turned it over to you, man.
Did he bounce? Ray, what's up, Andy? All right. Well, anyways, I mean, guys, I think it's pretty much time to wrap this up. It's way past all of our bedtimes. I don't know about you guys, but I'm on Eastern time. It's 10 o'clock already. Anybody want to add anything? Say anything? Questions before we wrap it up for the night?
Oh, good. Wrap it up.
All right, guys. Restoration Rebels. Have a good week. Talk to you guys next week. See you guys on Facebook.
Take care.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, bye, guys.